11. The spheres of Uranus and Pluto with the Saturn sphere. The description of the general magic of the spheres has been concluded, i.e. the hierarchy of the 7 spheres known to us has been sufficiently explained. However, the genuine initiate who has learned to move about with his mental body in the universe at will and to his heart's desire, and to resist, in his mental body, the different oscillations and vibrations of each sphere will have found out for certain that there exist, beyond the Saturn sphere, numerous other spheres, which have no direct influence on our Earth or on the zone girdling our Earth, at least not to any extent that it would make it worth considering from the point of view of magic and Quabella. The first sphere worth mentioning after the Saturn sphere is the Uranus sphere, the small influence of which only reaches as far down as the Moon sphere. If a magician, acquainted with the magic of the spheres, is on a visit in the Moon sphere, he will be able to feel the effects of the Uranus sphere. In the zone girdling the Earth this sphere is also known, but its influence hardly ever penetrates far beyond the Moon sphere. It usually fades away and ends in the latter sphere. This stated fact has, of course, nothing to do with the astrological interpretation of the planet Uranus, which cannot be dealt with in this connection. The Uranus sphere will not have any influence on the zone girdling the Earth and on our planet before the next cycle of evolution takes place. Nevertheless, the magician will find, in the Uranus sphere, intelligences who can initiate him into the magic and Quabella of the macrocosm. To give the reader any details here is not possible, since the time for their disclosure has not yet come. However, it is worth mentioning in this connection that true initiates call proper Quabella the Uranian, i.e. the cosmic language. This means that magic and Quabella and their practical application are controlled and directed in the whole macrocosm, i.e. in our cosmic hierarchy, by intelligences of the Uranus sphere in accordance with the universal laws. It therefore rests with the intelligences of the Uranus sphere to decide to what extent each being, each original intelligences of the other spheres is able to apply any kind of Quabella and magic or to teach their applications to magicians. The sphere magician who gains a firm footing on the Uranus sphere gets into contact with the original intelligence there and is initiated by them into magic and Quabella. Nothing else can be given to him by any other initiate, any other initiator of whatever sphere or plane, for such a magician has become a perfect adept, a genuine master, a hierarchic magician and Quabbalist. He has become master not only of the zone girdling the Earth, but also of all spheres and kingdoms. He who has proceeded this far into sphere magic and has also exhausted the Uranus sphere may say with justice of himself that he is a perfect adept, who fully comprehends, in the human sense, the Book of Wisdom with its 78 leaves, tarot cards, and perfectly controls its law in the microcosm and macrocosm. To such an initiate I also cannot offer anything else. From this short description of the Uranus sphere the initiate will eventually gather how long the way to perfection is. It is here that our hierarchy ends. Beyond this there exists another sphere, the Pluto sphere, but the magician, in his present state of development, cannot profit anything from that sphere, for it will have no effect on the zone girdling our Earth before the so-called second day of Brahma, the next cycle of evolution. The surface of our Earth will then be inhabited by quite a different race of people, who will have a different skin color and different laws from ours. During travels in the mental body, I have come through various other spheres besides the ones already mentioned, about 30 in number. But these spheres, in their present state of evolution, have no significance for us human beings, nor for the zone girdling our Earth, for they do not come under the range of power of our hierarchy. The extent of this book does not allow any kind of description of those spheres. The magician will realize that beyond our universe, our macrocosm, our planetary system, beyond the hierarchies and spheres that have been described in this book, there exist many other, much greater universes, which adhere to quite different forces, laws and analogies than our macrocosm. To give a detailed description of all these is without exaggeration, impossible.